Sarah, will I have to accept pets in my property?
That's a really good question. And I think a lot of tenants, when this was first talked about, were like, oh, that's what we really need to do. We want to be able to have pets and things. What the Renters' Right Act does is implies into every tenancy agreement that a tenant may keep a pet at the property. However, they do have to ask the landlord's permission, and that permission doesn't have to be given, but it can't be unreasonably withheld. So there are certain circumstances and certain properties that where a pet just isn't appropriate, and the landlord has the right to say no in those circumstances. If the landlord does agree, however, he can impose conditions that the tenants have to have additional insurance to protect the property from damage by the pets, or likewise, if the tenant doesn't want to do that, the landlord can get his own policy and charge that back to the tenant, and that won't be a prohibited payment under the Tenants Fees Act.
I think that's really well answered. I think we've discussed this before, haven't we, as well, regarding the terminology is around the unreasonable to deny a pet. I think that's really important, and the type of property, like you said.
Absolutely, that's the most important bit. Is we ourselves has had someone's asked to have 2 dogs on a top floor flat, and
that's just simply not viable, is
it?
You
know, that dog needs to go to the toilet, and also it's got people talking about wanting to have pets, but also fundamentally we've got to think about the pets themselves. So
pets themselves, but also neighbours and the property itself. If there's no garden, that kind of makes it really awkward. Like you say, top floor flat, really difficult. So there are certain times where it's just not viable. But but it is now something that landlords probably have to give a bit more thought to.